Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So today's the day that we're going to go ahead and announce the winners of the pantry pictures that were submitted last Sunday. Or not submitted last Sunday, but that were previewed last Sunday. Okay, so we've got 3 winners, and I've also got a special surprise. We have 3 winners, but I've chosen a 4th winner, and I'm going to show you who that is towards the end of the video. I wanted to go ahead and go through somewhat of a smorgasbord of different things that have to do with prepping, starting with 20 food storage locations for people with small homes. And please go ahead and add any ideas that you may have that are not covered on this list. All right, I'm also going to go over a few other things that I found that some people had questions on. I noticed that my last payday prep, there were a few comments from some people saying, yes, I'm running out of room also, and I need to take a look and see where else I can store foods throughout my house. So this one is concentrating on people that have small homes or that live in apartments. So I think that this list will give you some ideas on where you can store some foods, and it will also encourage you to come up with some innovative ideas that you may have that some of us may not be thinking about, so that we can help each other out. All right, so let's go ahead and start it out. I'm not going to go ahead and read through this. I'm just going to go and start on the list, okay? And a lot of these are very simple things that we probably already know about, but some of these may be ideas that some of us have not thought about. All right, so first of all, underneath beds. And of course, you've all heard me say in the past, if you've been watching my videos for a while, that if you have a twin-size bed, that is enough room for you to store 1 year's supply of nutrition for one person. So you have no excuse really to be able to store a 1 year supply of food for each person in your home, as long as each person in your home is sleeping on a bed, right? And the smallest bed they make, from my understanding, is a twin-size bed. On the shelf in the back of the closet. So a lot of people have closets, right? And in the corners, especially of the closet, there's a lot of empty space. Or in the first 2 or 3 feet from the floor of the closet up, there's some empty space, or on the shelf on top. So the closet is a good place for you to go ahead and store some things like water, canned goods, things like that. Remembering, ladies and gentlemen, that you have to ensure that wherever you're storing your long-term food storage, that it is a regulated temperature, and that it stays at a consistent temperature between like 55 degrees and preferably no higher than 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Beneath a false floor, behind your couch. Hey, look at this, ladies and gentlemen, in shoe organizers. Inside furniture, beneath the stairs, and actually my working pantry that is right off of my kitchen is the space beneath my stairs that go up to my 2nd floor. Above a drop ceiling, that's a great place to have it. The only problem that we may have with that would be temperature. However, if you're using your pantry like I am to store paper products and hygiene items, you know, like female hygiene items that are, you know, could be considered paper products, you may be able to store those items above a drop ceiling where the temperature may get a little bit high, and then store your foods in the place where you were storing those paper items before in your pantry. So you may have to do a little reorganization in order to do that, but it would be well worth it. It says here on shelves near the ceiling, same thing. Just remember that the higher that you store something, probably the higher the temperature is going to be. So try to concentrate on storing things that are not going to be affected by temperature in those high places in your homes. Inside couches or chairs. Someone said this on the payday prep that I just did. In suitcases. That's a great place to store it. Under floorboards. In small packages. Let's see what they mean. Things like pasta often come in boxes which take up more space than necessary. Remove them from the boxes and seal them in Mylar bags, which are much more flexible than cardboard packaging. Okay, that makes sense. Above the refrigerator, in a tidier pantry. Let's see what they mean by that. There's probably more room in your pantry than you think. Reorganize your pantry and see if you can clear up a shelf and make every inch count. And that, ladies and gentlemen, makes a lot of sense, and I'll tell you why. This morning, I spent this morning today clearing out my trailer. And once I cleared it out and reorganized it and put everything back in a nice organized manner, using as much room as I could, as efficiently as I could, I still had 2/3 of my trailer left that I can store more things in. So just by me reorganizing my trailer and tidying it up, I gained about 2/3 of the room that I was using up before, so that I can put other things in there that I wasn't able to before. Above your cupboards, in corners, this makes sense. There's a corner behind my lazy boy that I sit in, and in that corner back there, in the corner of my living room, I go ahead and I have some boxes stored back there that have some of my medical supplies and some other items that I have that are kind of like a bug out type things, even though I'm not planning on bugging out, but there's still like bug out items that I keep back there that I can grab in a hurry. On bookshelves, in space bags, another good thing that you can do with paper items, like toilet paper. Put them in space bags, suck out all the air, and then you can store those under your couch, under your bed, in drop ceilings, like I stated before, under the sink. So these are pretty good recommendations as far as where you can store things. But I know that the real value in going through this list, ladies and gentlemen, are the ideas that you have. So if you have an idea of where you can store something, be it a long-term food prep, a short to mid-term food prep, or sanitary items, or paper products, or medical items, things like that. If you have an idea that's not on this list, please list it in the comments, because that's the real reason why I wanted to go through this list, is to see what ideas you guys had out there. So I think there's a pretty decent little article to go over and to get everyone to start thinking about where else can we store things, because we do start running out of room, you know, when we gather more and more things. And depending on how you want to preserve your wealth would depend on how much storage space you would need. I also wanted to go over 12 survival uses for Vaseline. So when I went through my last payday prep and I showed you guys that I had Vaseline, some people left some comments on some different uses. And I also want to encourage you to leave your comments down here on what things you can do with Vaseline, because I think Vaseline is very important. And by the way, it's kind of ironic, or it's kind of funny, that when I came out with that payday prep and I had Vaseline in my payday prep, Alaska Dream Life actually had put a video out around the same time that I put that video out talking about Vaseline. But I wanted to go over some of the uses so that I can encourage you guys to go ahead and list down what uses you would have for them. All right, so this is 12 uses. And the first one is moisturize dry, chapped, and sunburned skin, which is one of the things that Alaska Dream Life talked about, was that they put Vaseline on their hands and on their cheeks in the wintertime to keep from getting frostbite and keep from getting their skin from cracking. Protect small wounds, scrapes, and cuts. Lubricate metal parts on tools and gears. Clean dirt and sticky stuff off your hands. That's actually a really good idea. Lubricate old and stuck zippers. Keep old keys and locks working well. Moisturize chapped lips. Protect old and dried out leather. That's a good idea too. Protect extremities from frostbite, and that's one of the things that Alaska Dream Life was talking about. And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't checked out Alaska Dream Life's channel, go check it out. I'll go ahead and leave a card up on the right hand corner of this video if you guys want to go check out their channel. And if you like it, go ahead and subscribe and support them. Make a cotton ball fire starter. which is a great idea. It lasts a long time too. Make a small candle with cotton. Yes, you can. Prevent chafing when walking long distances. Now, I'm sure that there's a whole bunch of other ways and things that you can use petroleum jelly / Vaseline for. One of the things that I like to use it for is to lubricate the gasket on my canner. And I also have an All-American canner, and it is recommended on All-American canners that you do put a little bit of Vaseline where the lid touches the actual canner. All right, so that's another thing that I use Vaseline / petroleum jelly for. Now, I wanted to go over this, what I'm going over right now, and it's what's the difference between petroleum jelly and Vaseline? Because I know that if you guys go out and buy Vaseline, the name brand Vaseline, that's usually a lot more expensive than if you bought an off-brand that was just petroleum jelly. So it says here, Vaseline is the original name brand for petroleum jelly. Theoretically, there is no difference between the name brand and generic brands. However, Unilever, who is the company that makes Vaseline, claims that they use only the highest quality ingredients and a special purification and filtration process. There may be small variations in consistency, smoothness, or even fragrance with Vaseline and generic brands. However, there does not appear to be a difference in safety between the products. The best advice is to read the label. It should be simply 100% petroleum jelly. So there you go. I would just buy the cheapest one because 100% petroleum jelly is 100% petroleum jelly. Oh, here. This is a good one right here. 17 survival foods that can last a century. First one, it says alcohol. And I think we all pretty much agree with that one. Apple cider vinegar, same thing. Baking soda. And we all know that there's a lot of uses for baking soda and apple cider vinegar and alcohol. So not only do these items last a century, but there's a lot of uses for each of these items. Beans. Look at this here. Beans. I figured that beans would have a shelf life, but it's saying here that it will last a century. Let's go ahead and read a little bit. It says specifically dried beans, which are listed as having an indefinite shelf life when stored in airtight containers. However, dried beans do begin to lose their moisture after a few days in storage, meaning they might not have the same taste and texture after a certain point. Nevertheless, they will remain edible, making dried beans a great survival food to stockpile. So I think that's a great thing to know, that dried beans will last that long. Cornstarch will last a long time, a century. Corn syrup. Look at that, ghee, ladies and gentlemen. Honey, we all know about honey. This is good to know, instant coffee. If you are one of the many people that rely on a cup of coffee each morning to kickstart your day, you'll be happy to know that instant coffee never spoils when stored properly. To keep instant coffee from going bad, you will have to store it in a vacuum sealed bag that are kept in a freezer. Oh, so it's recommended that you keep them in a freezer. Okay. Maple syrup will last pretty much forever, 100 years. Popcorn. Rice. That's great to know that rice will last that long if stored properly. Although I don't agree with this part down here, it says before they are opened, bags of rice will last forever when stored in a cool, dry place. After opening a bag of rice, you'll have to transfer it to a freezer to keep it from spoiling. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it says here before the bag of rice is opened. Me personally, and I'm not telling you what to do, but me personally, if I'm going to store rice for long term, I'm going to make sure that I transfer that rice to a Mylar bag and put an oxygen absorber in there before I seal it. That's just me personally. I wouldn't just keep the original bag it came in and store it and expect it to last forever. Salt. Salt will last an eternity in storage. Soy sauce, which is pretty much salt. Okay? Let's see. Due to its large sodium content, Soy sauce has an indefinite shelf life so long as it remains unopened. Simply store your soy sauce in a cool, dry area and it will never spoil. That's great to know. And soy sauce, ladies and gentlemen, adds a lot of flavor to a lot of different foods. And you can actually make different versions of it. If you take a little bit of soy sauce, put a little bit of brown sugar in there, add some onion powder, garlic powder, you'll make yourself a pretty decent little teriyaki sauce as well. Sugar will last forever, we know that. Vanilla extract will last forever. White vinegar will last forever, and it's a great thing to have with many uses. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that you guys leave your ideas that maybe you don't see on here on ways that we can store things and items that will last forever that maybe were not covered here. Okay, this one I found pretty interesting. 16 survival uses for zip ties. The first one is organize small items. Zip ties are perfect for keeping sticks, pens, cables, cordage, bags, utensils, and other small items together and organized. You don't want to have a mess on your hands when you're busy trying to survive. Yes, and I agree with that. To save space, clothes, blankets, and other fabrics can take up a lot of space. To fix this, roll them up as tightly as you can, compress them even more with a couple of zip ties. Saving as much space as possible is very important. And yep, this is true too. Oh, you can use it as a bag handle. That's a great idea. Attach gear to your bag. Another great idea. Makeshift shoelaces. That's something that I never really thought about. Snow traction. That is a great idea. That is not something that I would have thought about. It says securing makeshift trouser gaiters. So you can make trouser gaiters out of plastic bags, and then you can secure them with the zip ties. This is a great idea right here. Trail markers. For making shelter if you don't have cordage. For hanging things, absolutely. For snares, this is interesting for snares. Rather than just use ropes for cordage to build snares, you can use zip ties. The advantage to using zip ties for snares is twofold. They already come in a variety of different sizes, so you'll be ready for any kind of game. And number two, zip ties are naturally more secure for setting up snares than rope or cords are. Interesting. Repair gear, all right, that's self-explanatory. Restraining device. If you ever have to restrain someone or something, you can use that. For splints, you can get your wood, put it around your affected area, be it an arm or a leg, and then you can use the zip ties to tie it around there. For tourniquets, that's a great idea. For those of you ladies and gentlemen that have never applied a tourniquet on someone or on yourselves, like for practice, one thing you want to remember about a tourniquet is it's not like it looks in the movies. When you apply a tourniquet to someone and you do it properly, it's going to hurt a lot. However, if you're already applying the tourniquet, more than likely they're already in a lot of pain, but it hurts a lot to apply a tourniquet. It hurts a lot on the person that's actually getting it applied, not on the person that's doing it. Holding bandages in place, that's a great idea. Oh, and that's it. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, so like I said before, these are just things that I'm putting out there so you guys can get your juices flowing, all right? And think of maybe different things that you would think about that maybe we're not seeing on this list and that some of us may not know. Like, how many of you have any ideas on what we can use zip ties for? And it doesn't just have to be survival. It could be anything. It could be for organizing your pantry. I mean, any ideas that you have. I think this is what's great about this community is that we can come together, put our ideas out there, and some of us may not have ever thought of something that someone else finds like common knowledge, all right? So uses for zip ties. These are foods that will last a century. Something that I think they missed here would be wheat berries. I think wheat berries would last a century easily if stored properly. Uses for petroleum jelly. and 20 food storage locations for people with small homes. So ideas on where we can store our foods. So ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put up the pictures of the 3 winners, and then I'm going to come back and show you guys who the 4th winner is. And I am also going to show you guys what it is that you won. All right, I'm doing something a little different this time. So I'll be right back and you guys will be able to see who won. So thank you very much to all of you that voted. I think we had over 170 people vote on the winners, which is, I think, a great number of people that voted. You know, I'm not sure how many people saw the video. I think it was quite a few, but I think that 170 people to comment and vote on the winners, I think that was great. A lot of participation in this video. All right, so we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, first place goes to number 29. Second place goes to number 11. And third place goes to number 5. Now the prizes are a K-Bar heavy duty warthog knife with sheath. Here's the sheath. Or a Tefal 22 quart pressure cooker. Or a bottle of the best vanilla I've ever used called Bodell. Or a Gold Zero 250 torch. Congratulations to all the winners. Each winner will be able to pick one prize of the ones shown. If you live outside the continental United States, I will only be able to send you an Amazon gift card. Please email me your name and address to which you would like the item to be mailed and your phone number. I will not share your information with anyone. And now for the 4th winner that I picked. Now, congratulations to all of the winners. And again, thank you everyone for participating in this. Now, this person that I picked as the 4th winner did not even enter the contest. And the reason I picked this person is because of the comment that they left. And here is who I picked. Michael Weir. And I'm going to read the comment for you. Michael says, I forgot all about it. Meaning that he forgot about the contest. Doesn't matter though. I never win anything anyways. Besides, all of the pantries put mine to shame. I've got a lot of work to do. God bless. Well, Michael, guess what? You just won yourself one of the Bodell vanillas. Now, this Bodell vanilla is the best vanilla that I have ever used. And I am gifting you that bottle so that you can put it in your pantry and hoping that you try it because it is the best vanilla I have ever used. It is outstanding quality. All right, so congratulations, Michael. If you've never won anything before, guess what? You did this time, and I want to thank you for being part of our community.
Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I am out.